here we fucking go, folks. Another day, another deep state digital dildo jammed into your privacy without a fucking warning. This time, it ain't a rumor. It's called Pegasus. And no, it ain't some fucking unicorn from Greek mythology flapping its wings around. This one's got spyware fangs, and it's chewing through every fucking phone on Earth. You thought your phone was your buddy? Your lifeline? Your little rectangle pal that plays music? Texts your girl, helps you order tacos at 2 a.m.? Nah, my guy. It's a government-issued fucking parasite living in your jeans. You got Pegasus in your pocket, not a phone, built by some three-piece suit tech pimps in Israel calling themselves NSO Group. National Surveillance Overload is what they should fucking call it. And they're selling this shit to every corrupt regime and rat-fuck government around the globe like it's candy at a pedophile convention. You want it to spy on journalists? Done. Political rivals? Absolutely. Your ex? Fuck it, why not? And you know what? It's not even a fair fight. This isn't click the link and get screwed. Pegasus don't ask for permission. It just walks through the front door, eats your food, jerks off on your couch, and live streams your balls in 4K to some asshole in a command center in Saudi Arabia. This ain't the future, people. This is the fucking now. Pegasus is the global snitch network on steroids, built to make Orwell's 1984 look like a bedtime story. And the sickest part? Most of the fucking world has no clue. They're dancing on TikTok while their phones are being digitally deep-throated by a spyware beast. Let's get into it. Strap the fuck in.
50,000 motherfucking phone numbers. Let that shit sink in. That's not, oops, a few bad apples got flagged. That's a full-blown digital genocide of privacy. Pegasus didn't just target terrorists. It flagged everyone who ever looked sideways at a corrupt son of a bitch in power. You talk shit about the government? Boom, your ass is on the list. You write an article about human rights violations? Bam, they're crawling through your WhatsApp. You liked a tweet from the wrong fucking activist? Snap. Pegasus just ate your fucking life. This thing's worse than herpes. At least herpes has the decency to warn you. Pegasus is that silent, invisible, no-lube cyberfuck that enters through the back door while you're making coffee. And the best part, you don't have to click shit. No shady links, no phishing text. This bitch can infect your phone if you just exist. That's right, zero click, all access, 24/7 surveillance. Welcome to the new world order, you digital bitch. And guess who's buying the spyware like it's hotcakes? Every slimy-ass dictatorship from Saudi Arabia to Azerbaijan. And the freedom-loving democracies ain't far behind either. Canada, France, maybe even the U.S. Yeah. Don't act surprised. Uncle Sam's been finger-fucking the Fourth Amendment since the Patriot Act. This list of 50,000 ain't a fucking report. It's a global hit list. The only difference is, instead of bullets, they're shooting spyware into your phone and jerking off to your private convos. And NSO Group? These pricks shrug their shoulders and go, we only sell to responsible governments. Yeah, and I only fuck responsible hookers. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, let's break this shit down, because half the world's still walking around like this Pegasus thing is some kind of Marvel villain they can ignore. Nah, motherfucker, this spyware don't wear a cape. It crawls right into your fucking phone and turns it into a full-blown surveillance slot. You think you're safe because you use Signal, WhatsApp, Telegram? You got two-factor authentication and a VPN and some bullshit app that wipes your browser every 10 seconds? Cute. Pegasus laughs at your digital chastity belt. Once it's in your phone, nothing is private, and I mean nothing. It can read your emails, your texts, your encrypted chats. It can listen to your voice notes, scroll through your fucking camera roll, track your GPS like it's playing fucking Pokemon Go with your life. Oh, and it don't stop there. Nah, it can turn on your microphone and camera anytime it wants, without you knowing. It's like having a horny NSA agent in your pocket 24/7, watching you jerk off and talk shit to your dog. And guess what? You don't have to click a damn thing. No links, no pop-ups, no Nigerian print scams. This isn't 2003. This spyware comes in like a fucking ninja. Zero-click exploit. You're just going about your day, arguing with your girlfriend, texting your buddy about how crooked the government is, and bam! Pegasus just opened the door, sat its spyware ass on your couch, and ordered Uber Eats with your fucking credentials. This is cyber rape. Digital molestation. They turned our phones, these little rectangles we sleep next to, bring to the bathroom, shoving our jeans, into fucking spy tools. You're carrying your own informant around, feeding it your voice, your photos, your location. And the worst part? Most people are still posting selfies while this shit's draining their life into a state-run server room. This ain't just dangerous. It's world-ending level control. You give this kind of power to the wrong people. which is every fucking government. And what you get ain't national security, it's a digital dictatorship. All run through the fucking screen you swipe with your greasy fingers. Welcome to hell. And Pegasus is the concierge.
Now let me take the shit from zero to murder. Because the case of Jamal Khashoggi ain't just horrifying, it's the smoking fucking gun, literally. This poor bastard was a journalist, not a terrorist, not some psycho, just a writer who dared to criticize the wrong fucking prince. What'd they do? The Saudis lured him into their fucking consulate in Istanbul. He thought he was picking up papers so he could marry his fiancée. You know what he got instead? Boned saws. A full hit squad, dismembered, tortured, cut into fucking pieces while they cranked up music to muffle the screams. Then they shoved his body parts into suitcases like he was a fucking carry-on. And while the world was gasping in horror, what the fuck was Pegasus doing? Hacking. These heartless pricks used the spyware to get into the phones of the two women closest to Khashoggi, his wife and his fiancée. 4 days after his murder, his fiancée's phone was compromised. They are watching her grieve, reading her texts, possibly listening to her cry. You got to be a special kind of evil to pull that shit. And here's the kicker. The CEO of NSO Group gets up in front of a camera and goes, "We had nothing to do with it. Yeah, I know, I just went for a drive." What a crock of flaming horseshit. The forensics proved it. They found traces of Pegasus in Batista's phone, date-stamped and logged, but NSO keeps spitting out the same PR diarrhea. We only sell to the governments that promise to use it responsibly. What the fuck does that even mean? You sold it to Saudi Arabia, a country that dismembers journalists. You sold it to Mexico, where they use it to spy on reporters' children. You sold it to Azerbaijan, a full-blown dictatorship. Responsible use? You may as well sell chainsaws to toddlers and say, "We trust they'll be safe." This company didn't just provide the knife. They sharpened the blade and handed it over with a fucking ribbon. And now they want to play innocent while dissidents are hacked, tracked, jailed, and murdered? Fuck out of here. This ain't plausible deniability. This is willful fucking complicity. NSO Group ain't a security company. It's a fucking accomplice to tyranny.
All right, now get this. If the Khashoggi story didn't make you puke your fucking soul out, let's head south. Because what they pulled off in Mexico is straight up spyware genocide. 15,000 phone numbers hacked. 15,000. You understand the scope of that shit? That ain't surveillance. That's a fucking digital massacre. That's an entire city's worth of people getting cyber-fucked by their own government while drinking coffee and minding their business. Journalists, politicians, diplomats, human rights activists, all on the list. Hell, they were probably spying on janitors, Uber drivers, street vendors, the fucking taco guy down the street just for having a fucking opinion. And the main target? Carmen Aristegui, one of the baddest investigative journalists in Mexico. She exposed political corruption, shady property deals, the president's stolen mansion. And what does she get for doing her job? Pegasus, deep in her phone like spyware syphilis. And this is where it gets sick. You ready for this? These fucking animals didn't just spy on her. They spied on her kid, her fucking teenage son. You gotta be the lowest piece of shit on the planet to tap a kid's phone just because his mom tells the truth. What were they hoping to hear? Minecraft strategy tips? Teen drama about who kissed who? Fuck off. This is predator-level depravity. These assholes would bug your grandma's pacemaker if they thought she voted against the regime. They'd slap Pegasus on your family dog if it barked in Morse code. And NSO? Same weak-ass excuse. We only sell to vetted governments. Well, guess what? Mexico used your spyware to turn the country into a fucking panopticon. And what did NSO do? Nothing. Not a suspension, not a refund, not even a slap on the dick. This wasn't surveillance. This was political intimidation. This was power using spyware to shut mouths, bury truth, and break families. You call that security? I call it state-sponsored cyber terrorism. And Pegasus is the fucking bomb they dropped.
You want another hit? Let's go to Azerbaijan. Yeah, that oily dictatorship where the government runs the press like a fucking puppet show, and opposition leaders mysteriously fall off balconies. Now meet Khadija Ismailova, journalist, award winner, woman with more balls than every official in that corrupt shithole combined. She exposed how President Ilham Aliyev and his gang of cronies were looting the country like it was Black Friday at a diamond store. So what did the regime do? Did they debate her, challenge her? Fuck no. They threw her ass in prison, and when she got out, Pegasus, right back into her phone. No rest, no safety, no mercy. Now here's the real gut punch. You ready for this shit? She was hacked through Apple Music. That's right. The spyware crawled in through the same fucking app people use to stream Taylor Swift. I mean, Jesus Christ. These bastards turned playlists into probes. Apple Music. You thought you were downloading a Beyonce track, and instead you got the fucking KGB in your pants. And when Khadija got the news, you know what she said? She felt guilty, not angry. Guilty for the people who texted her, for her sources, for her family. She realized Pegasus didn't just infect her, it turned her into a surveillance weapon against her own people. That's how deep this mind fuck goes. These tyrants made truth tellers carry the disease they were fighting against. And you want to know the darkest part? She didn't do anything wrong. She's not a criminal. She's not a threat. She's a fucking journalist trying to keep a flame of truth alive in a country built on lies. But NSO handed the fucking flamethrower to the regime and said, here, burn her. And let me tell you something. When a regime starts using spyware to control women like Khadija, to silence their words, break their spirit, and make them blame themselves, that ain't just surveillance. That's fucking psychological warfare. That's a digital rape of every freedom we pretend to give a shit about. And what does NSO say? We didn't know. Fuck you. You knew, you just didn't care, because when the money rolls in, morality goes the fuck out.
You know what pisses me off more than the spyware itself? The fact that they wrapped this whole operation in a big ol' American flag-colored con. We're protecting democracy, they say. Protecting who? Fucking who? 'Cause it sure as shit ain't the people. Pegasus wasn't built to protect you. It was built to watch you, control you, and fucking break you the moment you opened your mouth. They say it's for terrorism. Yeah, okay? Show me one goat fucker in a cave they actually caught with this thing. I'll wait. What they did do is sell it to every corrupt dickhead with a desk and a badge. Saudi Arabia? Yep. Morocco? Of course. Hungary? Mexico? Azerbaijan? India? You name the shady-ass government, they've got Pegasus on speed dial. This ain't about national security. It's about regime security. This is about politicians making sure no one exposes their dirty secrets. It's about putting a digital choke collar on journalists, activists, and anyone with the balls to say, hey, maybe this government's full of shit. And when those brave souls start to speak, bam! Pegasus taps in, tracks them down, and buries the story before it breathes. And don't think for one fucking second that your so-called free countries are innocent. You think the U.S. ain't licking its lips watching this shit unfold? You think Canada's sitting there drinking maple syrup and minding its business? Ha ha! These governments are jealous. Pegasus is every intelligence agency's wet fucking dream. Let me put it plain for the folks in the back. Pegasus ain't a cybersecurity tool. It's a fucking global oppression device with a slick user interface. This thing is the digital equivalent of putting a boot on your neck while whistling the national anthem. They didn't break into buildings with flashlights. They broke into your pocket, your bedroom, your brain. And the worst part? They're not just doing it to bad guys. They're doing it to anybody who questions their authority. Pegasus is the new gun, but instead of bullets, it fires silence. And guess what? It's got unlimited fucking ammo.
Oh, and let's not forget the other group of limp dick cowards in this story. Big tech. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Apple, WhatsApp, Facebook, Google, Signal, all those smug Silicon Valley motherfuckers with their end-to-end encryption bumper stickers, and we care about your privacy horse shit. Spoiler alert, they didn't do a fucking thing to stop Pegasus. All that fancy fucking encryption? Worthless. Pegasus doesn't give a fuck if you're using two-factor authentication or if your password is a 36-digit Rubik's Cube. It don't need your permission. It don't need your clicks. It just walks through the fucking walls like a ghost on crack and plants a flag in your digital soul. Apple bragged for years about how secure iPhones were. Really? Then why the fuck was Pegasus able to get in through Apple Music? Not Safari, not Gmail, Apple Music, motherfucker. What were they doing? Hiding spyware behind Coldplay albums? WhatsApp got so embarrassed when they found out Pegasus was crawling through their app, they tried suing NSO. And what happened? Nothing. Lawsuits, hand-wringing, press releases. And meanwhile, Pegasus was still out there raw-dogging phones across the planet like it had diplomatic immunity. And Signal? Let me tell you about fucking Signal. It's like putting your secrets in a vault and then letting Pegasus clone the vault, the keys, the fingerprints, and your fucking retina scan. Signal don't mean shit once Pegasus is in the house. They've got the hardware. You can encrypt your dick for all they care. They'll still see what it's doing. These tech companies were supposed to be the firewall between us and the surveillance state. Instead, they bent over, spread their API, and let Pegasus slide in with a jar of lube labeled terms of service. You think Zuckerberg gives a shit? That guy sells your data like peanuts at a baseball game. Bezos, Musk, Cook, they're too busy measuring their rocket ships to care that 50,000 innocent people got digitally gangbanged by a spyware vendor with a god complex. Big tech didn't fail. Big tech fucking enabled it. They turned the whole fucking internet into a buffet for every regime with a checkbook. And now we're all sitting ducks with tracking numbers.
All right, let me tell you what really boils my fucking blood. It ain't just that Pegasus infects phones. It's what it turns people into. Every journalist that got hacked, every source, every activist, every freedom fighter, they didn't just get spied on. They got weaponized against their own people. Think about it. These brave fucking souls out here risking their necks, exposing governments, cartels, war criminals, doing shit that actually matters. And then bam, Pegasus gets in their phone. And suddenly, they're the surveillance tool. Every source who trusted them, compromised. Every whistleblower who reached out, fucked. Every secret they were trying to protect just got handed over to the fucking oppressor. That's not just an invasion of privacy. That's psychological fucking warfare. That's trauma. Deep, rotting, nerve-ending trauma that don't go away. These people didn't just get watched. They were violated. You think that shit doesn't leave a scar? There was one woman, a journalist, you know what she said? She felt guilty, like she put her sources in danger. Like she fucked up, she did something wrong. Can you believe that shit? That's the kind of twisted hell Pegasus creates, where the victim feels like the criminal. You ever see that movie where the alien latches onto your face and lays eggs in your fucking stomach? That's Pegasus. It don't just take over your phone. It lays digital eggs in your relationships, your work, your trust, your sanity, and then it hatches and blows your entire fucking life open. And the most fucked up part? These reporters never even knew. They're sitting there in cafes, conducting interviews, writing articles, chasing truth, while their phones are snitching like rats in a witness protection program. And the people on the other end of that spyware? They ain't fighting crime. They're fucking bureaucrats and dictators and petty, paranoid government stooges jerking off to control. NSO didn't just sell spyware. They sold betrayal. They sold psychological destruction. They sold a way to take the last honest people left in this world and turn them into bugs with microphones stitched into their fucking skin. If that ain't evil, I don't know what the fuck is.
Now let's talk about the real engine behind this spyware shit show. Money and power. You think Pegasus was just about intelligence gathering? Fuck no. It's about control, blackmail, silence, and good old-fashioned government dick-measuring contests. This wasn't just some isolated tool governments used responsibly. This was a fucking buffet of corruption. We're talking about a customer list that reads like the villain lineup from every Bond movie ever made. Dictators, dirty Democrats, police states, banana republics. All of them bought this spyware like it was the new iPhone. They didn't use Pegasus to stop terrorism. They used it to shut up journalists, monitor political rivals, track ex-wives, find activists, even spy on fucking princesses, for God's sake. Latifa Al Maktoum was one of the victims, a royal, on the run from her psychotic dad, begging for help. And what did they do? They tracked her down with Pegasus and dragged her ass back to captivity. This is who NSO sells to. This is who gets access to total digital domination. Not the good guys, not the just, not the moral, just rich, paranoid motherfuckers who want to keep their kingdoms intact and their critics in cages. And it's not like NSO didn't know. They knew, they just didn't give a flying fuck. We vet all our clients, they said. Oh yeah, with what? A fucking Ouija board? They knew who they were selling to. They wanted these governments to use Pegasus like a fucking flamethrower. You know why? Because fear spreads. You get one dissident to shut up, the rest fall in line. You hack one journalist, the newsroom goes quiet. You expose one activist's private life, and the whole movement starts looking over its shoulder. That's how you kill democracy without firing a single fucking bullet. You surveil it to death. And what's the payoff? Billion-dollar valuations, respect from the intel community, secret contracts from Western allies who wink and look the other way. NSO ain't some rogue company. It's a linchpin in the new world surveillance economy. And every time you read an article that's been neutered, every time you wonder why a big story vanished, There's a good chance some spyware had its dick buried in the reporter's phone. So don't tell me Pegasus was just a tool. It was a fucking weapon of silence. A global blackmail ring with a user manual and a customer hotline, and the world let it happen because the people who could stop it, they were too busy using it.
Let's go back to the Khashoggi hit for a second, because this shit still makes my fucking skin crawl. This wasn't just a murder. It was a mafia-style, state-sponsored butchering, and Pegasus was fucking in the room, metaphorically speaking. Jamal Khashoggi walks into a Saudi consulate to pick up some paperwork, maybe get a signature so he can marry his fiancée. You know what he walks into instead? A kill room. Full-on horror movie. They brought a bone saw. A fucking bone saw, my guy. You bring that shit when you're not just planning a hit, you're planning disposal. And after they chopped him up and stuffed his remains into suitcases like a fucking meat puzzle, what does the Saudi government do next? They don't lay low. They don't hide. No. They hack his fucking fiancée's phone. 4 days after the murder, she's outside the consulate crying her eyes out, not knowing her future husband is being packed into Samsonite luggage, and these animals are spying on her grief. Did you ever see a bigger set of balls on a regime? I haven't. These motherfuckers dismembered a journalist and then launched a digital recon mission on the woman screaming for answers. That's Pegasus. That's NSO's responsible customer. That's who they're selling to while sipping wine and cashing checks. And you want to hear the comedy part? NSO's CEO waddles into an interview like the Pillsbury Doughboy of denial and goes, "We didn't do it. We had nothing to do with the Khashoggi incident." Oh, really? Because forensic investigators traced Pegasus straight into Hatice's phone like a bloodhound on a trail of bullshit. Date stamped, log confirmed. 4 fucking days after he was murdered. You don't get to shrug that off. You don't get to play innocent when your product's being used like a cyber bone saw. You sold the software, you knew who was buying, you watched the headlines, and you said, oops. Nah, that ain't good enough. That's not negligence, that's collusion. You don't sell dynamite to a terrorist and act shocked when he blows up a fucking orphanage. You don't hand out spyware to murderers and act surprised when they use it to hunt widows. NSO wasn't some innocent vendor. They were the fucking supplier to state-sponsored terror. Period. Full stop. Shut the fuck up.
You think the Khashoggi story was the end of it? Fuck no. That was just the warm-up act. Pegasus ain't choosy. They'll spy on anyone. Journalists, lawyers, priests, princesses, fucking school teachers. If you breathe too loud or ask the wrong question, boom, spyware in your phone. Let's talk about Princess Latifa Al Maktoum, the daughter of the Dubai ruler. She tries to escape the UAE because her rich prick of a father was locking her down like she was a fucking prisoner in a palace. She makes a video crying for help, tells the world she's terrified, she'll be dragged back. And what happens? Pegasus, right in her fucking device. They tracked her down mid-escape using the fucking spyware and brought her back into captivity. That's royalty, my dude. If they'll do that to a princess, what the fuck do you think they'll do to you? And that's just one case. This shit was being used all over the world, like a cyber guillotine. You had whistleblowers in France being watched, politicians in India, protesters in Hungary, journalists in Morocco, activists in Rwanda. Every continent, every language, every fucking movement got its privacy obliterated like roadkill under a tank. You ever wonder why some stories just disappear, why certain people vanish off the radar? Why news outlets suddenly go quiet? Pegasus, that's why. They didn't need to kill you anymore. They just hacked you, scared the shit out of you, or leaked your private life until you crawled back into the shadows. That's how they erase voices now. And it wasn't just the high-profile ones. Tons of people never even made the news. They just got fucked silently. Their phones were tapped, their cameras flipped on, their GPS tracked. They became test dummies in a global torture experiment where nobody knew they were being experimented on. Pegasus is the digital equivalent of waterboarding your entire contact list. And the bastards using it, they knew exactly what they were doing. This ain't national security. It's political cleansing. It's dissent extermination. It's silence with an invoice and a license key. And NSO, they built the slaughterhouse. They stocked the tools. They handed over the keys. And they fucking watched while the world got gutted, one phone at a time.
All right, now let me address the elephant in the room. Or should I say the bald eagle covered in spyware shit. According to NSO and their goons, Pegasus doesn't operate on U.S. phone numbers. Yeah? And my balls don't sweat in August. Get the fuck out of here with that. You expect me to believe the world's biggest surveillance addicts, the United States government, Didn't want a taste of Pegasus? These guys write billion-dollar checks for drones, satellites, and mind-reading fucking lasers, and I'm supposed to believe they passed on a zero-clip phone hacking system because of ethics? Ha! That's the best fucking joke I've heard since Fauci said trust the science. The same intelligence agencies that have been caught spying on their own citizens, on foreign leaders, even on fucking Congress, and I'm supposed to believe they drew the line at Pegasus? Nah, bro. If there's a tool that lets you silently crawl into a politician's iPhone while they're taking a dump in a Marriott, the U.S. was first in line, with a briefcase full of untraceable cash. They might not buy Pegasus directly. Oh, no, they're too classy for that. They outsource it, they clone it, they get backdoor deals through shady-ass middlemen, and then run the spyware through partner nations so they can keep their hands clean while still sniffing your texts. Classic deep state double-dicking. And don't forget, they didn't shut this thing down, they didn't call for sanctions, they didn't ban NSO or blacklist their clients. They just sat back, watched journalists and dissidents get their privacy shredded like taco meat, and probably said, damn, that's impressive tech. We should upgrade our own systems. So when NSO says Pegasus can't touch American numbers, what they really mean is, we've already made a better version and sold it to your own fucking government. That's why nobody's panicking in D.C., because they're in on it. The surveillance state ain't just alive, it's fucking thriving. And it don't care if you're right wing, left wing, or chicken wing. If you speak too loud, if you post the wrong meme, if you criticize the wrong prick in power, you're marked, you're watched, you're done. So don't tell me Pegasus didn't touch the U.S., you just didn't feel it go in. Let me tell you something, Pegasus ain't just code, it's a fucking weapon. And it ain't just used by dictators in deserts. It's in boardrooms, in embassies, in fucking Silicon Valley. We live in a world where your phone, the thing you check your texts with, take pictures of your kids with, jerk off to memes with, is your fucking prison. They turned it into a cage, and guess what? You bought it, you charged it, you updated it, and they used it to silence you, steal from you, and spy on you like you're the threat. Meanwhile, they're the ones butchering journalists, stealing elections, and laundering money through fucking data contracts.
They didn't need tanks this time. They didn't need bullets. They just needed you to install that app, open that message, play that song, and just like that, bam, you're theirs. Your whole fucking life on a silver platter. Contacts, photos, conversations, your fucking GPS history from the time you went to Costco in 2017. They got it. And don't kid yourself, this shit ain't going away. The next Pegasus, it's already here. Version 2.0. More silent, more aggressive, less traceable. They ain't stopping. You think they're going to give up this power willingly? Fuck no. You got to take it back.
So here's the fucking deal. We either wake the fuck up, or we keep sleepwalking into a surveillance dystopia with a spyware app shoved up our ass and a smile on our face. The governments ain't gonna stop. Big tech ain't gonna stop. NSO sure as hell ain't gonna stop. We have to burn it down. The contracts, the spyware, the companies, the sick-ass backdoor deals, the politicians who knew and did nothing, the CEOs who sold it, the agencies that used it, the whole fucking system that made it possible. Like that shit up.
No forgiveness, no excuses, no more silence. You want to protect democracy? Start by shoving Pegasus straight back up the devil's ass and hitting mute.
Now that was a fucking script and then some from Chris fucking Dallas. So don't tell me that doesn't deserve a sub and a like. What the fuck are you waiting for then? Hit those fucking buttons. And while you're at it, drop a comment, you lazy bastards. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Let the algorithm know this ain't your average cookie-cutter clown show. This is Celebrity Recreations, the channel that tells it like it is, no bullshit, no muzzle, and no backroom fucking sellouts. Chris writes these savage scripts himself, produces the videos, runs the channel, animates the goddamn characters, and probably cooks dinner between render times. So if that ain't worth 5 seconds of your fucking time to share this video and spread it like Pegasus spyware in a politician's WhatsApp, then I done know what is. And hey, if you're one of those lurkers who watched it all, laughed your ass off, nodded in agreement, and still didn't smash the fucking buttons, you're the reason we gotta keep cussing in every video just to cut through the censorship fog. So do us a solid, hit subscribe, hit like, slap that bell, drop a comment, and share this motherfucker with everyone you know who still has a brain and a backbone. This ain't the news. This ain't late night TV. This is Vinny fucking Gambini and Lester Diamond, and we're both out of here.